seems to just have arrived from another planet to casually disrupt the world, one industry at a time. Many see him as one of the great industrial minds of the 21st century, the engineer's engineer. Even if you haven't heard of him, chances are you've still seen his influence. You know that movie Iron Man? As it turns out, Musk provided a large amount of inspiration for the Hollywood character Tony Stark. In fact, parts of Iron Man 2 were actually filmed inside and outside of SpaceX, Elon Musk's private rocket company. Musk even made a cameo in the film. You may have also heard of the Tesla Model S. It's a fully electric car project spearheaded by Musk and was awarded 5.4 out of 5 from the National Highway Safety Administration, the highest rating ever given to an automobile. This all comes after co-founding a payment system that you may have heard of, PayPal. Coincidentally, PayPal was the very same company that used to employ the founders of YouTube. So who is Elon Musk really? How did he achieve all of these things? And what's the story behind him? In this video, we'll find out. Let's get straight into it. Elon Musk was born in South Africa in 1971. His mother was a model and his father was an engineer. He was the oldest of 3 kids and started primary school a year early. As a kid, Elon was a bit of an outsider and loved to read, but got picked on for being smart. Unlike his brother and sister, Elon didn't have a great social life, but didn't mind spending time reading comics instead. Despite being an outsider, it was clear early on that he was a smart kid.
His brother, Kimball Musk.
When Elon was 10 years old, he got tested by IBM, and he was found to have one of the highest aptitudes they'd ever seen for computer programming.
Around this time, he had an interest in programming and wanted to take some classes, but he was way ahead of his teacher. Interestingly, this is the same trend that we saw with Mark Zuckerberg in the Cold Fusion episode, How Big is Facebook? At age 12, in 1983, Musk just taught himself computer programming and created a video game called Blastar, which he sold for $500. In 1989, a 17-year-old Musk moved from South Africa to Canada. Eventually, he would move to America and attend college at the University of Pennsylvania. After graduating, Musk moved to California and began graduate studies in physics at Stanford University. His main interest was space exploration. But the thing was, right at this time, the world was going through a revolutionary shift. The internet boom was reaching full swing. After just 2 days, Elon would leave Stanford and take advantage of the boom. This decision would alter the course of his life and ultimately change the world. After dropping out of grad school, Musk quickly established his first company, Zip2, which provided online newspapers with maps and business directories. He sold the company in 1999 to Compaq for $307 million. Elon himself netted $22 million out of the sale. Although Zip2 revolutionized newspapers, Elon was frustrated that it wasn't a game changer on the world stage. In a matter of months, Musk was on to the next project. In 1999, he founded X.com, an online payment company that eventually became PayPal. It was acquired by eBay for $1.5 billion in stock, of which $180 million was given to Musk. PayPal fundamentally changed the way people transferred money to one another and also how they bought and sold things. For some context, at the time, it was still common for people to mail checks to each other, a very slow and archaic process taking weeks to complete a single transaction. Musk had changed the financial industry, but now he wanted to change the course of humanity itself. In 2002, he founded Space Exploration Technologies, otherwise known as SpaceX. SpaceX is a company that creates and manufactures vehicles, primarily rocket technology. The aim? To reduce the cost of spaceflight in hopes of expanding human life beyond Earth. Doing such an ambitious project required a great deal of money. Musk initially found it impossible to get funding for SpaceX, which many investors saw as a pipe dream. Going against traditional business practices, Musk channeled all his money into the company to make it a reality. And a reality it became. SpaceX currently has a $1.6 billion contract with NASA to resupply and eventually ferry people to the International Space Station. Musk has reduced the cost of reaching the International Space Station by over 80%. If you want to know more about SpaceX, there's already a Cold Fusion video on it, so check out the description afterwards. After SpaceX, in 2004, Musk would help fund Tesla. The first Tesla car, the Tesla Roadster, was the first electric vehicle to break the public's conceptual mold of an electric car. After this came the Model S, of which the fastest models can do 0 to 60 miles an hour in 2.8 seconds. Of course, if you want to know more about Tesla Motors, I've got a video on that as well, so you can check the description. In 2013, Elon introduced his latest endeavour, the Hyperloop. It's a form of transportation that theoretically could send people from San Francisco to Los Angeles in half an hour by the way of pressurized tubes. Of course, it's not a new idea, but Musk has overseen a competition to build the transport system to advance the technology. Once again, I've already done a video on this, so you can check the description. Elon is also one of the major driving forces behind Solar City, a company founded by one of his cousins. Under the guise of Tesla, he recently bid to buy the company. Musk has also released the Powerwall, a simple battery pack designed to power the home off the grid. A video on the Powerwall is in the description. Despite his enormous recent success, it hasn't all been smooth sailing. Both his flagship companies, SpaceX and Tesla Motors, came alarmingly close to failing. Tesla's first electric car, the Roadster, faced an ongoing string of problems, and the company suffered financial woes during the 2008 crash. SpaceX had 3 launch failures before the 4th one was a success. On top of it all, Musk was going through a divorce. All of these events took place in a short amount of time, causing him to come close to a mental breakdown. We're going to hear from Elon Musk himself about this period later on in the video. There's been some more recent problems for Tesla specifically. The first fatal Tesla car crash, with autopilot engaged, recently occurred. This has put Tesla under federal investigation, even though it's clearly stated that autopilot is a driving aid and not fully autonomous driving.
Please remember that these features are meant only for highway use. Keep your hands on the wheel at all times and stay alert.
Also, recently Tesla has not been able to deliver cars fast enough to meet demand, worrying some investors. Alright, so let's move on to a few facts about Elon Musk. Musk was named one of the 75 most influential people of the 21st century by Esquire magazine. In 2013, Elon was named Fortune's Business Person of the Year for SpaceX, Solar City and Tesla Motors. Musk's official annual salary for Tesla Motors is just $1. Elon has signed the Giving Pledge, in which pledges promise to donate the majority of their wealth to philanthropic efforts. On January 25th, 2015, Musk made an appearance on The Simpsons episode titled The Musk Who Fell to Earth. He played himself and was a good sport about the episode, which mainly poked fun at many of Musk's ideas. Okay, so let's bring this all together and make this video beneficial for you, the viewer. So now that you've seen all that he's achieved, it's clear that there must be some special philosophies and successful traits that Elon possesses. What are they, and what can we learn from him? Let's take a look.
Whatever area that you get into, given that even if you're the best, there's always a chance of failure. So I think it's important that you really like whatever you're doing. If you don't like it, life is too short. If you like what you're doing, you think about it even when you're not working. It's something that your mind is drawn to. And if you don't like it, you just really can't make it work, I think. There's no need even to have a college degree. If somebody graduated from a great university, that may be an indication that they will be capable of great things, but it's not necessarily the case. If you look at, say, people like Bill Gates or Larry Ellison, Steve Jobs, these guys didn't graduate from college. But if you had a chance to hire them, of course, that would be a good idea. You need to work super hard. So what does super hard mean? Well, when my brother and I were starting our first company, instead of getting an apartment, we just rented a small office and we slept on the couch. And we showered at the YMCA, and we're so hot up we had just one computer. So the website was up during the day, and I was coding at night. 7 days a week, all the time. So work hard like every waking hour. That's the thing I would say. It was a terrible time. Yeah, everything was going wrong at once. 3 rocket failures in a row in the beginning, and Tesla financing round was falling apart or fell apart. The Solar City was having difficulties, getting divorced. It was really terrible. Yeah, at the end of 2008, the fourth launch worked, which is that was all the money we had, but nothing more. And then the next morning, NASA called and said that we'd won this $1.5 billion.
The next morning?
Yeah, the next morning. I think it was the Tuesday night or the Wednesday night was when we closed the financing round for Tesla, and that was like 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve, the last hour of the last day when it was possible. And we would have gone bankrupt a few days after Christmas if that round had not closed.
When you had that third failure in a row, did you think, I need to pack this in?
Never.
Why not?
I don't ever give up. I mean, I'd have to be dead or completely incapacitated.
So essentially, you don't need a degree to be something, never give up, love what you do, and work hard. This seems to check out with me, because if you've watched my How Big series, you'll know that a lot of the guys that started some of the world's biggest companies today all possess these characteristics. So now that you have some knowledge on keys to success, the choice on how you apply it is up to you. So that's the story of Elon Musk, a bit of what he's doing today, and some of the traits that make him successful. When you think about it, it's pretty cool that all of these achievements were done by the kid who used to be bullied in school and didn't have much of a social life. Sometimes the underdog really does come out on top. Thanks for watching the whole way through this video. Feel free to subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment sharing your thoughts. This has been Dagogo, you've been watching Cold Fusion TV, and I'll see you again soon for the next video. Thanks guys, enjoy yourselves and have a good one.
Cold Fusion. It's new thinking.